Good evening. Ira Epstein, and I've got that wild look with my hair today. I'm laughing at myself. It is Tuesday, and it is the 13th of May, 2025. It's 5:45 p.m. So, today was the, if you will, President's Day in Saudi Arabia. He got promises of actually $1 trillion, an immediate promise of $600 billion, but the Saudis said they will probably take it up to $1 trillion. NVIDIA's in play, AMD's in play. So we saw that Trump did away with the Biden licensing. He's giving quite a bit of chips. A lot of arms are going to be bought by the Saudis. This is a big day for the United States, and it proves he can get things done. He also took off sanctions, tariffs, and everything else on Syria to give them a chance at the prodding of the Prince of Saudi Arabia, as you saw. The king, he said hello to as well. It was a good day. And in the stock market, I warned that you could get a Tuesday reversal, and you did not. You had it in the Dow, and that was really one stock, UnitedHealthcare, and it just went cratering down. But what you've got here is a market that actually in the stocks were up. You did get reversals happening in the metal markets. You had a huge reversal down in the dollar index. You really didn't do much of anything in the bonds and notes. They've continued on their merry way to continue to add yields because what they're seeing is inflation. And that's why you can't give up on the gold market, all right? That doesn't mean you throw good money after bad. Right now, it's not in an uptrend. It's in a correction. However long it runs, it runs. But that inflation story is here. If it weren't, you wouldn't be putting the 10-year note up to the 4.5%. You want to keep your eye on all the energies, I think. Natural gas could peak out here, but the real play may not be natural gas. It could be the companies that ship it out, because as these other deals come in and they get rough, what are they going to buy? They can buy chips, like we just saw, arms, I don't know, they will. Food, for sure, if they want it, and energy, which we have plenty of, especially natural gas. And a lot of that comes into play on Thursday. That's why I'm mentioning it. Does Ukraine and Russia, who gets together, what delegates are going to meet? Zelensky, I'm at the meeting, whether Putin's there or not, and I doubt Putin's coming. Why does he need to talk to Zelensky? He doesn't. He's the aggressor. He'll let his delegates do it, and when the two of them meet, it'll be because they've reached a deal. That's my impression of what will happen. And it doesn't do a lot of good, I think, on Zelensky's part to goad Putin. You want to end this. You're not going to win this war without everybody helping you to end this war. And you do understand, Europe, the United States, all the backers of you, they're tiring of the war. They're not going to let you get and taken over, but you're walking a fine line. That's my take on it. When I look at what the gold is doing, this is that correction on a weekly chart. So you've backed off on this market. When you come to the daily, this low is lower than that low. So you've actually got on the swing line higher lows and a higher high. That's an uptrend until you take out not today's low, but the 32.1120 area. Take that out, then you reestablish a downtrend in the market. And I say that because you are underneath the 18-day average of closes, and that's my line in the sand. But when the swing line is up and the bias is down as you're under that number, you've got nothing. So I'm waiting to see what you're going to develop here. When I go for the Bollinger Band, notice where this market stopped on the break. And we were laughing at this yesterday together, and you're getting your bounce. So now what? Well, you're oversold. You've come down hard. Is the market going to be able to reassert itself? And you don't have to be a genius on that. If you close over the 18-day average of closes, which is 33.2060, then I have to say the market's reasserting itself. In terms of the gold-silver ratio, silver continues to be stronger than gold. The lower this number is, the ratio, that's how many ounces of silver, and as it goes down and it stays into the silver color, as I call it, silver's gaining back how many ounces you'd have to pay. In other words, silver's getting a little more value. Silver's a true sideways market. This market has a higher high and lower low. Now, this is important, what it just did. Let's come back here, if it will let me. There we go. You had an outside day down on Monday. Normally what happens is when you get that, you're looking for the market to go to the near-term support because you've broken the back of the market. And it did exactly that. It went to the 200-day average in the 18. What the market did today is it went over yesterday's high. So I call that a play that didn't work out for what it normally does. And until you take out this low again, the odds favor. It doesn't mean you're going to do it, but it favors a retest of the upper Bollinger Band since that's the only upside target. Do I see a trend? I don't. I see a market with a higher high and lower low that has already hit its support. Copper was like a delayed reaction. If you were watching me this morning in my morning flash video, I said, I don't get why copper didn't go yesterday. It had all the bull news that it needed. Today it goes up 10 cents a pound. So I don't understand the delayed reaction with that at all. I would have thought it would have jumped because the China factories are going back to work. I can imagine today that what was going on is everybody was on the phone, calling up suppliers, buyers, and saying, we're back in business. Do you want the products? I need these for Christmas. I can hear it both ways. Look what happened with Boeing. Boeing's got the call from China. We want our planes now. Well, they just took some back. I don't know if they're available. It doesn't matter. We want all the planes that we bought from you. There's going to be 50 this year. So that's the point that I'm making. So as these events happen, temporarily, because we don't know what will happen at the end of 90 days, you've got to take that into account. Maybe that's what held copper back. I don't know. But like silver, it seems to be caught sideways. The trend is down, unlike silver, but it'll take very little if you get over this to propel the market and see if you can get back towards that $5 mark. We're going to find out. In the platinum market, I thought that the pros were buying on the weekly chart, the 18-day average, and if they did, they came out in good shape because the market was up today some $16. It's giving back $1.80 of it tonight, but they did okay on that so far. And you want to see, can you reach up to that number? Again, none of these markets are really doing anything. While the gold market has the swing line up with higher lows, higher highs, it's under the 18-day average. And the rest of these, they're not in that type of pattern. They're really in sideways patterns. Then we get to the dollar index, which right now is trying to pull back, as you can see. It got over the upper Bollinger Band. I screamed yesterday basically at people going, you're over the band. You don't buy over the band. And the market's pulled back into it. It also gave back about half of what it made yesterday. If you take a look at what this market had done, and here we are, it was up $1.43. Today it loses back 77 cents, just about 50% of that. That doesn't mean anything. You still have a pattern, though, of a lower low and a higher high, and you're overbought as can be. If you think that's an easy trade, I wish you the best with it. I don't think it's an easy trade. I think it's a very difficult trade. Let me give you what I think is easy. Our Mother's Day sale. It runs until this Friday, and you get a third off of any of my subscriptions. So you're really getting 2 months. You're paying for 2 months for getting 3 months of my subscriptions, or 90 days, because we don't go by month. We go by, buy it now, you get 30 days, 30 days. That's how it works in here. All you need to do is go to iraepstein.com. It's explained. By the way, for my subscribers, I put up tonight in the member area explanation of all the different tools that I use in a short video. So when you're there, you just look and you go, oh, there's Ira's video. Oh, there, right it is. Now I have my full explanation. Everybody should look at that that's a member. Move your cursor right up here. You can see that you can get to the Mother's Day sale that way. And often up here on YouTube, there'll be a dot, and you know that's your information. Just give that a click and it gets you to the link. Have yourself a great evening. Watch the other videos, and I'll see you in the morning.